This is everything you need to know about incursion raids. And we are on the test server here. I'm having a look at this before it goes live, releasing this, I believe, the day that it does go live in Marvel Strike Force. And I want to give you an idea of what teams you're going to need, what power you're going to need for those teams, what you can expect, so that you can plan as best you can before your alliance launches into this. Or if your alliance isn't ready for incursion raids on the day they come out, you can start preparing for them. You know where the benchmarks are, you know where your teams will need to be. I'm just testing incursion raid 1. That's all I have access to here, and I have done pretty much a full lane. I've gone up to the top here, and let me break down each section. I'll show you the teams that I used. The first thing to know about this is that each section has like little mini scourges applied to them. Let me go ahead and switch to a different view so you can see that a little better because I'm blocking it. All right, this is a better view of it. You can kind of see here. So what this does is it basically, for Mutant, it makes it so that using Apocalypse, using Death Seed is the best option. It narrows the field. You're not going to get away with using Astonishing X-Men on this, right? Same thing with, you're not going to get away with using Web Warriors and Bio. You might be able to use Astonishing X-Men for like level 1 of this. You might get away with Web Warriors, but this raid is geared around the new raid teams, and the way that they're doing that is, I like this. I like that they're not just saying Death Seed. They're not just saying, invaders. So later on, when new characters come, we might be able to interject them into these teams and breathe life into them. And it might not close out new characters, which is good. This is the problem with the Apocalypse Saga. We're locked in to building Darkhold, Gamma. Like whenever you want to go get Apocalypse, you got to build those 4 teams. You can't substitute out anything else. Whereas if you go to get Doctor Doom or Dormammu, you can build whatever you want, whatever's modern. So that's nice if you're doing these incursion raids, a year from now, if Marvel Strike Force is around that long. So I used my Death Seed on the mutant section, autoed all the way through. I'll show you all the teams after I'm done kind of talking about the different sections. On Bio, I used Rebirth all the way through, and the mini scourges here make it so that Rebirth is ideal and that Web Warriors isn't ideal. Web Warriors is not the best idea for this. Then we have the skill section going up here. Oh, it's important to note as well the layout of the incursion raid. You have 5 lanes. It's really peculiar. So you got this like little solo section over here. On the left-hand side, there's a little solo section of the raid where you might just send one person. I guess you got someone really into raid. I'll probably go over here. I'll volunteer. I'll be like, yeah, I'll be tribute. I'll go over here on the left. Let me do that. I love raids. I'll core or whatever. I don't care. And then you have 2 sections. You have a section in the middle that goes from bottom to top. That's the one that I was doing. And then you have this other one that goes from top to bottom. And it's all mirrored. It's all the same nodes. But this is like a shared lane. So it's like 2 lanes on either side. So you have 2 tech nodes here at the top of this or bottom of the, however you want to say it. And yeah, it goes from mutant to bio to skill to mystic, and then tech is at the top. And that's actually, I don't know, good, because right now, and I'm going to get to this. So, all right, I keep jumping ahead of myself or jumping around, trying to stay on target here. For skill, I used invaders, of course. They're fantastic, and the mini scourges on here make it so that's what you're going to want to use. It basically destroys Kestrel and Captain Sam. Basically, it's just ridiculous. And then, it's ridiculous for now. It'll be good later when we can use newer characters when they come out. But right now, it's absurd. And then Mystic. Now, Mystic, the main thing they do is they shut down Dormammu. Now, you can still use Darkhold, and I did. And it's okay. Darkhold's okay. You're going to have to play it manual. You're not going to be able to auto through that. I was able to auto through Mutant, Bio, and Skill. For Mystic, I switched over to Eternals, Deathpool, and Morgan Le Fay. And then I just threw Dagger in there, but really Weaver would have been a better choice. Dagger would die. I wouldn't care. The team would beat it. And it can kind of auto it. So Mystic isn't so bad. Tech, of course, is bad. And that's why I like the fact that they put Tech at the end, because we don't have the new Tech team. So I don't know when we're going to get that. If it's going to take a while, well then 60% on this raid is going to be really easy to hit, which I guess is, good news. We can take a look at the rewards too. Oh boy. And I've already raised some concerns about this internally. I'm hoping that they'll take me seriously on it because the rewards don't make sense. But they rarely do. I think once in 5 years have they gotten the raid rewards correct on the first try. And sometimes they'll fix it, and then sometimes they just won't. I'm hoping this time at least they'll fix it. Or maybe this isn't as intended. I don't know. But yeah, for Tech, I tried a mixed team. I tried not to use Bionic Avengers because the mini Scourge on this makes it so that you don't get barrier and you don't get defense up. And that's like Bionic Avengers. But no other Tech stuff is really working. If you have a big enough Bionic Avengers, like a really big Bionic Avengers, you can get through this, at least on difficulty 1. And actually, let me just show you that real fast. I do have my Bionic Avengers loaded up, and my Bionic Avengers, they're a million power. They're okay. They're not level 95. And I think that's what you're going to need to do on this, is kind of take them up to level 95 to get over the fact that they don't have barrier. They don't have defense up. So they're really paper thin. They're going to fall apart fast. But this is still the best team to use on the Tech section for right now until they give us something new, which I assume that they will. I know that they will. They've told me as much. They said that there is a Tech raid team. There's also a Mystic raid team. So there's a Mystic raid team coming. There's a Tech raid team coming. I don't know when we're going to get them. But for now, what you would need to do, and what I'm going to do in my alliance, is I've already told my alliance, hey, everybody update your rosters on the website. And we're going to take the 5 biggest, make sure that every lane, there's 5 lanes. So we're going to need 5 people with gigantic tech on each lane to handle the tech section. And then the rest of the alliance can handle everything else. The other, 4 guys, 5, 6, 7, 8, other 3 guys can handle, all the bosses and whatnot. And the tech guys can really just focus on the tech nodes. And yeah, you can kind of see here. So Bionic Avengers are kind of falling apart. They would really need to be big. And we're probably talking red star big, like 7 red stars on each. Hey, they did sell us a bunch of red stars. If you're so inclined, if you want to be the hero in your alliance, you can put 7 red on all the Bionic Avengers. Now, the problem with that is that Bionic Avengers isn't too great anywhere else in this game. They're not a Cosmic Crucible team as much as people want to try to make them that way. They really aren't. I don't see that changing. This is an outdated team, but this is usually what we're stuck with. People would overinvest in symbiotes. People overinvested in Astonishing X-Men. And now the trap to avoid is overinvesting in Bionic Avengers. But as you can see, even my Bionic Avengers, and I will show you my Bionic Avengers, we did just take out that node. That was a 2-shot. I did weaken it up. Let's send it at the boss. Let's see what happens if we send it at the boss. Let's do it for the content. I'll heal him up so we give him a fair shake. Give him all the advantages. All right, here goes Bionic Avengers at the boss in the new Incursion raid. And not the strongest Bionic Avengers. I don't want to touch them anymore. Personally, myself, I'll wait for the new team to come out. I don't know how long that's going to take. Now, you could substitute, Kang in here over Iron Man, assuming that, you feel that Iron Man is doing the least on this team, which is probably correct. But I don't know if it's going to help you. I don't know how much it's going to help you. It's going to depend on the size of your Kang. You might need, if you have just a massive Kang, maybe that's the way to go. I don't know, man. But yeah, Bionic Avengers, they're not obsolete, but they're not great. And this is a really weird raid. So, all right, maybe this is a good time to mention that this is probably the least excited I've ever been for a new raid to hit Marvel Strike Force, because I'm literally not going to play it. If someone else is doing the tech nodes on my lane, then I really have no reason to play this, because Mutant is auto, Bio is auto, skill is auto, and Mystic is close to auto, if not full auto. And yeah, the boss node is just destroying. And yeah, the early information we had about the boss node having no trait, that would have been amazing. It's not the case. It is locked to tech, and that does suck. I think it would have been really cool to have two really awful tech nodes and then a boss node where you could use anything. But that's not the strategy that we've adopted. We kind of knew that would be the case. All right, let me go ahead and show you these teams so you know kind of where you need to be. Let me show you my Death Seed. And I did use Death Seed with Apocalypse. So if you don't have Apocalypse, I don't really know what to tell you. Hopefully it'll still be okay. But Apocalypse is really going to help out. Death Seed, we're sitting here around level 90. We got level 95 on Archangel. We got some pretty decent red stars. We are maxing out the tier 4s on all of this. So, I don't know. I assume a lot of people have invested a lot in Death Seed. It's a very good team for many different game modes. So, Death Seed isn't so bad to invest in. Next up is Rebirth. Now, Rebirth and Invaders, I'm really impressed with because I have not put that much into these teams. And this is my roster. We're on the test server, but it does reflect my actual roster in game. So one of the things I was testing here was whether I'm ready for Incursion raids, and I feel that I am, except for tech, but no one's ready for tech. All right, so here's my Rebirth, level 90 on Winter Soldier, tier 16, but then everything else is tier 15 and level 80. Which is kind of phenomenal. I did a lot of the tier 4s on Winter Soldier, haven't done his basic yet. I think I left just the basics off. I got a lot of the tier 4s done on this team, just leaving off the basics. And they did struggle on the boss node. They almost timed out, and maybe if I would upgrade these basics, I wouldn't have had that challenge. So that's a good thing to keep in mind. Yeah, basically I did all the tier 4s except for the basics on these. That is your Rebirth, and we're sitting here around 6 stars for Captain Carter, but then only 5 stars for Agent Venom and US Agent. All right, let's go ahead and have a look at the Invaders. Now, I did spend a little bit of money to get my Invaders up to 5 stars for that Incursion Invaders, so my Invaders are all at 5 stars. If you are strictly free to play, then you're probably more in the 4-star range for these guys. I assume they'll still work because this is a better team than Rebirth. So even at lower levels, it should still function for you. Nick Fury at 85 in tier 16. Everything else tier 15, level 80. Let's have a look at the tier 4s on here. All the tier 4s on Nick Fury. All of them on Bucky. All of them on Iron Fist. I really like this team, so I just did all the tier 4s except for Captain America. I didn't do his special or his basic. Had the same problem. I actually did time out on the boss node using this team. Maybe if I upgrade that special and basic, they'll work out a little better. If I want to do higher levels of the Incursion, probably 5 levels per level. Like if we're going to do the next level, we're probably going to need to go to 85, going to need to go to 90, going to go to 95. That's just the way that's going to be. All right, as far as Mystic, let me just show you the Mystic roster. I assume most people probably have the strongest the most strength you're going to have is going to be in Mystic. Most of the best characters in the game are Mystics. So yeah, what I went with was Morgan Le Fay, Deathpool, Icarus, Cersei. That is really the basis of your team. And then you pick a 5th, probably Spider-Weaver, right? And these guys are all maxed out tier 4s. These guys are all maxed out in levels. I mean, this is one of the reasons why I'm able to do it is because, we got 7 red on Cersei. We got 7 red. We got 7 red on the whole team. 7 red on Morgan Le Fay, Spider-Weaver, Deathpool, Icarus, and Cersei. That's why I was able to auto on Mystic. Other than that, it's going to hurt more. You're going to have to struggle more. You're going to have to hit it more times. But if you do want to overinvest in your Mystic roster, this is the part of Mystic roster to invest in. Not Death Seed. I tried my Death Seed and not Death Seed, Darkhold. I tried my Darkhold. They got tore apart. They're not as overbuilt, but they are all tier 17 and they are all isotope 5, but it didn't matter. They're just not equipped the same way. They're not as good in raids. So I would stick with that hybrid model if you want to build into something. And then finally, here's my Bionic Avengers. Not strong, tier 15, tier 16 on Iron Man, 7 red stars on him, but it is what it is. As far as tier 4s, I did kind of go into tier 4s on these guys. I think I have most of them done. What am I looking at here? Okay, I have most of them done. I almost have all their tier 4s. I have a couple on Vision I didn't do, and that's it. So there it is. I still don't have a 7-star on Deathlock. Maybe someday. Let's have a look at rewards before we wrap this up. Let me show you the thing I was mentioning about rewards, how those are a little weird and they don't really make sense. So right now, my alliance is doing the Doom 3.5, right? And on the Doom 3.5, we are hitting 10,000 teal elite orb fragments because we're hitting 100% every day. Now, if we go to the incursion raids, it just doesn't make any sense. If we hit 100% on the new incursion raid, we're only getting 4,000 teal elite orb fragments. And that's weird. Everything else is in line. Everything else is fine. Oh, and the tier 18, man, the teal elite epic orb fragments, only 800. So it's like so little. They're being so stingy with that. You're not going to you're not going to skyrocket your roster into tier 18 by doing these. You're going to make very small incremental changes. Now, these rewards do go up as you go up difficulty levels, but not by leaps and bounds. So just eyeballing this, if I look at where this goes, I don't know what difficulty we're going to need to be doing. It goes up to difficulty 6. It seems like maybe at difficulty 4, it's going to start equaling what we're getting now. I don't know. And this level is pretty difficult. This really does feel like the next step after the Doom 3.5. This incursion raid, the difficulty on this feels like the next step up from what I'm dealing with right now. So the reward should really be the next step up. I would expect if you're doing the Doom 3.5, I would expect you to be able to get 100% on normal. You can definitely do that. But you might get stuck around difficulty 1 or difficulty 2 for the foreseeable future. And that looks like at most it's going to be giving you 4,000, like 7,000 elite teal orbs. Like you're actually taking a hit on teal orbs, teal elite orbs. And that just doesn't seem right. I don't know. Let me know how you feel about it. Let me know if you're ready for the incursion raids and grave diggers. Keep digging.